Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World Daily with me, John Jordan. So this video is looking at the second land pre-sale from Splinterlands. So it was about a week and a half ago the first pre-sale of land happened, and as we're seeing quite a lot at the moment, there was a lot of demand, really too much demand for what was being sold, and we've seen that recently also with the Sandbox had a recent sale that had just had too much demand. They tried to increase the number of servers they had and all this sort of stuff to stop the website going down. It kept crashing. They tried to stop it halfway through. It was all a bit of a mess, really. But in a sense, in both cases, the good news is that people are seemingly very willing to invest what seems to be quite large sums of money in these emerging blockchain games. So that's the kind of positive to take away. We'll go a little bit into the details of what Splinterland's doing, and I think we're going to see kind of similar approaches from other games that are trying to launch NFTs. Effectively, all this land, all this land are NFTs that people can own and then trade. But obviously, you're not selling that many NFTs. You're not selling millions of NFTs like you are tokens. So if you're selling tokens, in a sense, you've got a lot more to go round. Whereas if you've got a few thousand NFTs and you've got 10,000 people trying to buy them, obviously you can't really split up NFTs in that way. So Splinterlands in its first pre-sale actually did have a lottery system. So it's selling individual plots of land, but also you can buy them in larger kind of combinations. So you can buy a single plot of land, you can buy 100 plots of land, you can buy, I think, 1,000 plots of lands. And so what it tried to do was limit the people coming in buying 1,000 plots of lands, which was priced at $7,500, something like that. And you basically there was a lottery system just for those people because there was more demand for those big plots of land than there was actually land being sold, but they still wanted to let people buy small bits of land. So they had that lottery system, as we can see here. So 27 regions, so 27,000 plots were sold, but the majority of that was sold by these big regions, so people spending $7,500. There were 3,000 individual plots also available, sold out within 21 seconds. And as we saw with kind of the Sandbox, the servers crashed and blah blah blah. So there's actually going to be a few. So this is the second land sale that Splinterlands is doing. There will be a third land sale originally planned in the first week in December. So this second one is the 28th of November, and I think they're planning for the next one on the I think it's the 7th of December. And then there'll be a more general sale. I think when they're close, the game is closer to kind of launching stuff. Because this is all should say this is a pre-sale. While all the design work has been kind of carried out, nothing's been built so on this land system at the moment. So this is very much a kind of funding pre-sale. But what's going to happen on this 28th of November sale is there's going to be a lottery system for everything. So so what's interesting here is that there were 27 of these regions were sold on the first pre-sale, but 50 people were bidding for them. So 23 participants in the first lottery sale didn't get what they were hoping for. So interestingly, those people are guaranteed regions in this pre-sale on the 28th of November if they want them, I assume. So it's kind of interesting that that kind of guaranteed nature means only 7,000 plots are going to be available for everyone else. so there still is this issue of massive oversupply, and particularly because now if you participate in this pre-sale, this second round of pre-sale, you'll be guaranteed for the next pre-sale. So you could end up with a situation where so many people are bought lottery tickets in this pre-sale that they'll sell out the third pre-sale without anything happening. So there is a kind of there is even with these kind of mechanics, there still is a problem with oversupply. Particularly if you are, particularly because they do want to sell these big plots of land. They do want to sell up to 1,000 plots, which are called regions. Because otherwise, if people do want to buy big plots of land together, they can't expect them to make 1,000 different transactions to buy it. So there's an interesting balancing point there, I suppose, about how much of the overall individual plots you want to divvy up into larger plots. Because all this is going to do, I think, is encourage people to buy lottery tickets in this pre-sale. That means the second pre-sale will have sold out, and probably it means the remaining a large majority of the remaining land that's going to be for sale is also going to be kind of pre-sold anyway. So what's interesting is the lottery system is being spread across everything. So the 7,000 remaining plots will be available to players via a lottery system. So even if you want to buy one plot of land, you still have to go via the lottery system, and you can only enter one entry per account. So still, there are people with multiple accounts. There's always the problem with kind of blockchain things and bots and that sort of thing. So potentially you still have people making multiple accounts because there's no restriction in making accounts. So it's very difficult to handle that sort of stuff. So that's what's going on. There's so this is going to be happening on 4 o'clock on UTC time. It's difficult when you're doing a global game to find a good time for everyone. I guess that kind of still a bit early for still kind of early Pacific time, but not too bad for Eastern time in the States. Obviously, the good thing about blockchain is you can prove that the lottery is provably fair, because blockchains are good at that sort of thing. And then this just says here, if the total number of plots entered into the lottery is less than the number of plots available, then then everyone will get their requested land, and then any remaining land would be available without the lottery system. But I think this is just going to encourage people to everyone's going to be reserving spaces now. Another interesting thing is you do have to buy, so to enter the lottery system. So I guess this is a anti-spam mechanic. If you do want to buy plots of land, you do have to pay up front, and then you get refunded. So that just stops people kind of bidding multiple times for in a way that they can't necessarily kind of pay. So that's good. And another interesting thing here, so you I don't think this is necessarily an NFT per se, but it's a bit like an NFT, I suppose. But you, if you buy these big plots of land, you will get an in-game title. So that's, again, just kind of encouraging people that they will have that. The fact they own a lot of land will be reflected over in the game. We'll be able to see that straight away. So, and the other interesting thing here is if you have put liquidity into the Uniswap pool. So Uniswap is a exchange on the Ethereum blockchain. But the DEC, the dark energy crystal that runs Splinterlands, has been kind of, I guess, wrapped to some degree, and you can now that's running on Uniswap. And if you a liquidity provider, so if you're helping that exchange, that token exchange on the DEC ETH pool, you can claim your plot reward. So there's a certain amount of land was reserved for people who were helping to fund that exchange. So there we go. It kind of is interesting. As I say, these are problems. They're not insignificant problems, I don't think. They do, certainly on the sandbox side. A lot of people seem to be pretty annoyed by what happened. But in a sense, that kind of, how do you deal with scarcity? I mean, blockchains are designed to allow people to kind of arbitrage scarcity by kind of selling it off, I suppose. And it doesn't seem to me, having looked at actually the sandbox, that the price of land doesn't seem to have gone up massively. So if you did want to buy land, you can still do that on marketplaces like OpenSea. But there is an issue around how you gate availability, particularly when developers are selling stuff off. I guess the other option would be that you would kind of as you do with Uniswap. So with Uniswap, developer can just sell tokens by setting up a pool themselves and letting the market buy and sell and find the price. So I guess there could be ways of doing that. It's harder to do because it's an NFT, not a token. But the problem kind of tends to arise when you have a fixed time where everything goes live, and you're doing it kind of in a centralized manner because the developer is now going, we are selling all this stuff off. So I guess that will be an interesting discussion point for people who are more interested in decentralization and kind of pricing mechanics. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. This is Blockchain Gaming World Daily, where we take a look into the news of what's going on with blockchain games. If you're interested in that, please do subscribe to the channel. But thanks for watching, and hope to see you again soon.